For me, music is all about the movement. And just like in life, everything is moving up and down, creating that uniqueness in every day. Probably do that better. I want to go over a little bit of my setup on this UF8. It's got two sections here that I use strictly for navigating around my sessions as fast as I can. The quick and the soft keys. Now my soft key customize settings are as followed. On one, I use it as my locating guys, my edit mode, stuff I can kind of access to as quick as I can if something's engaged and I don't need, or I'm multi-doing something, I can hit it real fast. Other than that, I have it going into my markers as well. For this guy, I can literally go chorus 1, verse 1, introduction. This allows me to navigate incredibly fast without having to again go through this. So if I'm messing with a plugin and I want to multitask myself, I can jump to chorus real fast while I'm adjusting EQ. So I can be doing this and then go, I need to go to verse as well, or I need to go to introduction. This allows me to be able to really quickly, really fast move in an environment, which goes into the next thing I want to talk about, which is my space. Now, why this guy works for me extremely well is because it is 8 banks, and I usually have my setups between 8 and 10 buses. And having all those in front of me allows me to be able to jump around the song, operating plugins, and automate each bus, which is each group of goodies, in relatively one area. And if I need to toggle through that or jump around with the mouse, I can do that too. In my quick guys, I really only have it to toggle between the mixer window and the edit window. Then I have my bars if I really want to see quickly what bar am I at. I can pop that in. If I go into 3, it shows a breakout of my groups in general. So I can even go even further into editing those. So I'm going to boost a tiny bit more top end on here through the UF8 and hear what we got. Before I jump into the automation, I want to just listen to the long strings on their own. This is without the synth, and I'll put in the actual sample strings with it. So that's the synthesized strings with it. Here's just the actual samples. Together. And let's pull in the brass. You can hear the reverb going, panning. Let me pull in the samples. Without. With. Adds that burr. I'm going to take the ending of the piano first, and then I'll get the intro on the way back. Okay, let me take it from the top. I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, this is quite a bit of automation. It looks pretty good. As you see, it's feeling like it's creating the movement that I want it to be. Pretty comfortable with that, but I feel like if I bring back as a whole, the whole track, it will allow me to, I'm going to pull back maybe 0.7 dB. That will allow me to open up a little bit and do the 10% rule where I feel like it will sit in a good spot. I want to open up the reverb and see what I got going on. I feel like the way I have it set up right now, it's sitting right. I have a left and I have a right reverb. This is a Sean Murphy kind of trick where he set up two separate reverbs left and right. One's set up a tiny bit differently. If you can see the reverb time on this is 2.8 and this is 2.5. The pre-delays are a little different too. One's almost pretty much off and then one's at 81 milliseconds. I want to extend a little bit more because in this track I can tell the string is over here on the left and the brass is kind of in the center, and I feel like if I put a little more emphasis on the reverb decay on the right, it's going to do a really neat switch. I'm going to extend this a little bit more than 2.8. I'm going to go up to 3. That will allow me to get a little bit of the shift on the reverb. Let me hear what it sounds like just for fun. Okay, cool. So if you listen, you can hear now that it goes to the right. And since there's all this fast strings going on the left, it'll carry over when everything kind of blooms. I want to do an overall pass on the stereo mix bus. This will create a little more drama, a little more emotion, and pretty much tie the bow on the whole overall presentation of this cue. One thing I do want to do before we print this is I want to do a separate automation point on the long strings soloed on their own, just to give it a little more goose at that end. So I'm going to find that guy, automate this, just so I can goose it just a little bit before the ending. We put that in latch mode. I feel like that's ready. I feel like the mix is tight. I feel like that there's movement now. Everything is kind of going in its way that makes it sound less static. And keeping the audience engaged and making them feel emotional connection is super, super important. That's exactly what automation does. And for me, being able to work in an environment where I can just not really move my hands too much and keep it just in this area, it allows me to adjust everything in my hand point. And keeping my buses in realm here. If I need a toggle between anything, I can do it through this guy. I can jump around the song through these guys. And it just really works fast. And that's the key with a project this size. And it lets you just mix super, super fast. I love this thing. I can literally travel with it. I can do everything I need to do. I love this thing. It's super awesome.